Slightly Mad Studios officially announced its newest title in the Project Cars racing series, Project Cars 3. But the announcement has come with some backlash from the series' loyal fan base. Should you be worried or excited for this release? Today, we'll give you our hopes and concerns about Project Cars 3. Welcome back to No Time Gamer. If you're new here, hit subscribe to get more reviews and content for busy gamers to make sure your gaming sessions are time well spent. The first two titles in the Project Cars series have mostly leaned toward the simulation end of the racing game spectrum, but the early gameplay and trailer for Project Cars 3 made it look more like an entry in the Forza Motorsport series than a true sim racer, and that's intentional. The core philosophy of PC3 is to make sim racing more accessible to the casual racing audience, something that has not been a focus in the series up to this point. Now at the surface, this seems like a great choice, but it has the potential to bring some real problems. Project Cars 3 is published by Codemasters, after they acquired Slightly Mad Studio last year. This acquisition immediately set off red flags for longtime players of the series. Codemasters is a quality publisher, but their intentions have almost always been to amass sales by making games as easily playable for as many players as possible. That's why they've released one of their 14 dirt games every year or two since 1998, and why there has been a new F1 game every single year since Codemasters secured the license in 2008. While not perfect simulations, Project Cars 1 and 2 gave players the feeling of actually getting behind the wheel of a purpose-built race car, something that arcade racers don't really achieve. Lots of cars and circuits felt incredible and gave players a good insight into the wide variety of motorsports and an introduction to the sim racing world. The career mode in the old games allowed players to rise through the ranks of the racing world through many different paths. You could start in karts and earn your way up through open wheel, GT, rallycross, and many other disciplines, changing between them as you wish, and try to win all of the Tier 1 championships like endurance racing or IndyCar. PC3 seems more like a long tutorial mode following a single path that introduces players to how the game is played. It looks like there's been a transition in focus from driving race cars and progressing to faster and more challenging racing series in a sandbox with worlds of possibilities, to upgrading and battling street cars, giving them cool paint jobs, and earning money and points to unlock new upgrades. While this will likely draw more players to the series, loyal fans may be driven away, as the previous games gave them more of a accessible but still heavily sim-focused alternative to sim racers with higher barriers of entry like iRacing. This will be especially true if there are more lenient rules in online racing, as arcade racing games play much differently online than sim racers. Players who go online to race competitively against serious opponents will not tolerate being punted aside by the car behind them that's just looking to get ahead without trying to race clean. Now, given our purpose as a channel, we think that these changes will appeal to busy gamers, but will they actually make it a better game than the first two in the series? Would making Dark Souls easy so people wouldn't be intimidated really make it better? We don't think so. If players wanted an arcade racer, they could turn to Grid, an arcade racer released by Codemasters just last fall. There will be, of course, new tracks and cars as expected, and probably some other cool features, but we have some major concerns that the heart of the series may be lost in PC3. With the announcement coming just months before release, Slightly Mad Studios might have alienated their audience who has been waiting so long for this game to be a continuation of the sim racing series they loved. What do you think about Project Cars 3? Will pivoting the direction of the Project Cars series make it better? Let us know in the comments. Since you're here, go ahead and watch this review to find out if this game could be time well spent.